and I'm going to talk about some of the things currently happening with mainstream media in just a moment. But before I do that, I want to take the time to talk about each of our reporters here today. We have 4 of our 28 mainstream media reporters that have joined me today, and it's just a pleasure to have you here. I want to start with Angela right in front of me here. Angela, raise your hand. Angela's a little shy, except when she has a microphone, then she does an outstanding job. But the rest of the time, she's a little shy. She was the very first reporter of mainstream media. She covered the Rockettes last December when we first started. In fact, she did an interview before we had the paperwork filed, but because she was kind of in a rush there. But she did a great job covering that event and has just been an incredible reporter for me. She's excellent at covering women's sports. She's covered PSU basketball, PSU volleyball, as well as some music events, and she is an amazing reporter. She's the one who got all this started for the other 27 reporters that came after her. Wow. So, you know, the reporters that are here today, maybe give Angela a personal thank you because she was the one who created such a great reputation for mainstream media and allowed the rest of you to come along. Next we have Melissa sitting at the end of the table there. Melissa, raise your hand. Melissa is my designated music and literature reporter. You'll see her right on the home page when she covered Wordstock and did an outstanding coverage and review of that. And I try and rotate that home page with different work. Melissa's been up there for a couple of months, and every time I'm like, I can't take Melissa off. She did such a great job, but you're probably gonna come off that homepage in a few weeks. But you've done an incredible job for mainstream media, and thank you. And next we have Holly over here to my left. Holly is a model and a writer, and anything to do with writing and the arts. She is an amazing reporter. She actually did one of our most recent events with Jim Marood of DNA Northwest, and Jim helps people to write letters of blessing, very deep, heartfelt letters to connect loved ones. And Holly interviewed him and did a fantastic piece that's up on our website under the most recent work. So thank you, Holly, for your great work. Holly is also the only mainstream media reporter to ever do an event all by herself. She did the camera work, she did the interview, and so she is an amazing reporter.
Good job, Holly.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have Laddie Reed. Now, from my vantage point, I can't see where Laddie is. There we go. Okay. Now, Laddie is the Michael Moore of mainstream media. He will tackle the controversial subjects and make them entertaining. Now, I want to highlight a couple of things about his work. He is the first person to contribute to our social commentary page. Did an excellent editorial on Occupy Portland, and a very thoughtful, very good piece. If you haven't had a chance to take a look at that, under our social commentary. Laddie is also the first person to have his own page within mainstream media. He's such a prolific reporter that there were so many things. I'm like, Laddie gets his own page. So we have The Adventures of Laddie Reed. And you'll be amazed at some of the daily things that he does. And obviously we're going to keep adding to that page. So thank you, Laddie, for all your fine work. You're also the official boyfriend of the Rose City Rollers, all the Rose City Rollers. So I want to talk about what we can look forward to for 2012 for just a minute. Within mainstream media, we've got an exciting piece that we're coming out with in the next week. We have a 2012 mainstream media calendar, which is going to highlight the work of these fine reporters as well as the other 24 or so reporters that have been a part of our organization. So each month You'll be able to turn the page and see the great work that we've done with people like Dominic Cicero, an IndyCar driver, being interviewed by our reporters, people from PSU Athletics, and all kinds of celebrities. And this calendar, I know I'm a little delayed on this, but it will be out in a week or so. So hopefully you guys can find a space on your wall to put that up there. Secondly, I really think we're set up for a great year. I started this organization on the ultimate shoestring budget, just funding it through a second job that I have on nights and weekends. I wasn't eating top ramen, I was eating middle ramen. Top ramen was a little out of my budget. So, but I've been able to keep this going for a year, and it's gradually, we've got a foundation in place that I think is really going to be great for the future. We have our first professional grade camera making its debut today with mainstream media assistant E doing the fine video work. And so that was donated by Encore Audio Video, and that will really help with the quality of our videos. I've put together marketing teams in our various lifestyle categories, music, sports, the arts, to help with the promotion of the videos, community partners here in town. We're starting to get our volunteer base thanks to E, so a lot of exciting things. And to close, I want to introduce an organization that's been incredibly valuable and supportive of mainstream media, and that's Community Vision. They do the most progressive work in this town on behalf of people with disabilities in the areas of, and Laddie does agree. And by the way, Laddie's the only one working today. He's got his press pass on. So I want to introduce Eric Brill of Community Vision to talk about their organization.
I will be brief. I know we're kind of running up against some time here, but first off, thank you to everybody for having us. Todd, I will say, I have to say something about Laddie, since he's kind of, as always, the center of attention. But that's what we love about him. We do support Laddie in the community, as well as a few other individuals here. Laddie writes a section of our newsletter that we've actually named Laddie's Corner, because he deserves corner to speak from. And he ends every section with, it's always a political sort of commentary, and he ends it always with, if you want to debate me, bring it on. And here's my email address. I'm willing to bet that no one's emailed you. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, Community Vision's been around for about 22 years now, and our mission is to provide support to individuals with developmental disabilities so that they live in their own home, in the community. We don't believe in group living. We feel like that is probably something that we wouldn't choose for ourselves, and we don't feel like that's good enough for individuals with disabilities, and don't feel like it should be any different for them. So we support some of the folks here and lots of other people in the Portland area to live on their own, to get jobs on their own, to get meaningful jobs with meaningful wages. And it's been great to partner with Todd to give the individuals that we support some extra opportunities to get out there and focus on their talents as opposed to their limitations, which is one of the best parts about what Todd is doing. So again, thank you very much, and thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. And one final word, one person that I also need to recognize here, kind of as a tie, I know we're running out of time, but as a tie for the most exciting thing that's happened to me this year with mainstream media, I'd like to introduce my girlfriend, Allison, who works for Disability Rights Oregon. I've been looking for a woman who could stand me for 3 consecutive hours, and I finally found one, so I'm very happy about that.
And she's hot too. So now it's my pleasure to introduce Ray with the Oregon Culinary Institute. I'd like to just have him share with you about what this institution does.
Well, welcome. Listening to your stories, I think the mission of Oregon Culinary Institute is very similar to the missions that I've heard expressed by each of you that have had a chance to talk. We believe that we are educating the next professionals in an industry that is really the fabric of America, and every great community is really established by the types of restaurants that exist in that community. And one of our missions is to give back to the community. We want our students to enter their communities and make sure that their presence in the community enhances the community. So it's an important part of what we do. I don't know if you realize that most of our students have never worked in a restaurant before. They've never cooked before. This type of event for them is an incredible experience for them to go through, and it's also a little nerve-wracking. And I think based on your expressions and the things that you said, you actually did a pretty good job.
Absolutely.
I'd like to just take a second and just ask them to take a bow. I'd like to thank Mark. Mark has been, this is a class, and if we don't have people who support us on a regular basis, and they go out and network for us so that we can drag some of your friends and your patrons into the restaurant, we're not able to do this. So we are truly honored that you decided to have this event here. Hope to do it again.
Well, thank you very much.
Happy holidays to you.
I want to let you know that this is an awesome place to come for lunch, especially if you like me and like to hang out. You can have a conversation here. The meals are all served in courses, and you can see the lunch is extremely reasonable as well as the dinner. So I highly recommend this place. All right, so before we wrap up, you guys, I have one last announcement. Visit-Rich members, we have our newest Visit-Rich member here in the house, Rob Van Gorder. If I can have you step up here real quick. Our consultants, he's the guy that helps you get those government contracts. It's going to be awesome to have here in Visit-Rich. And with that, I'd like to welcome you to the group. And here is a copy of Bob Berg's book. It is time for dessert. We do need to come out of here by 2 o'clock. So we start serving dessert right now. And so eat up. But do stick around as long as you can up until 2. Otherwise, we'll go out the street. But continue the network. Thanks, everybody.